Advisory services are offered through Creative Financial Designs Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, and securities are offered through CFD. Investments Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer, member of FINRA and SIPC. 765-453-9600. Diamond Financial Group is not associated with the CFD companies.
Good afternoon, Cookeville. This is Jason Murphy, your host of Money in Motion. And I'm excited to have a guest that's going to be on with you here in just a minute. But I did want to remind you of who I am. I am an investment advisor and here to give you some financial advice and help you do some things that will save you some money or avoid some hassles in your life. I will be talking to you today a little bit about the progress of Diamond Financial Group right there beside Poets on the Square. We're going to talk to my friend Chris Sapp from the Computer Doctor, and I'll mention a little bit more about my book, Money in Motion. I do want to throw out a reminder that any one of you can send an email to me at any time at moneyin_motion@cfdinvestments.com. Again, that's moneyin_motion@cfdinvestments.com. But without further ado, I have my good friend, and I truly mean that. Me and Chris Sapp go back a decade, if I'm not mistaken. We go back a solid 10 years of being friends. He has the Computer Doctor. He is the owner and founder of the Computer Doctor down in Sparta, right there on Churchill Drive. At 180 Churchill Drive in Sparta is where their storefront is located, and they do IT work that works. You know, they have solutions for all of your computer needs. And Chris is right now, today, in fact, him and his staff have been working on my office, getting our infrastructure set up to where I have my computer systems working, where I have my phone systems. It's a voice over IP phone system I'm getting through the Computer Doctors, and just really excited to have him on my show. And today we're going to ask him about some of the problems that people just in general, the general public, some of the problems that you could be having in your life, computer related, IT related. So, Chris, good afternoon. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you having me on the show today.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on. And talking to my audience, what are some of the dangers? I know that there's everything from viruses and Trojan horses and botnets and ransomware and all these crazy things. What's probably the most crucial thing for people to protect against out there in the computer world?
Jason, when it comes to computers, there's a lot of threat vectors in the world today and a lot of things that you have to watch out for. For most people that are just casual computer users, the biggest thing that I've run into recently has been the fake tech support calls. You'll get a pop-up message on your computer saying your computer's been infected with a virus. Call this number, or somebody may even call you up on your phone or even your cell phone. It may look like a local number. It could look like it comes from Nashville. It could look like an 800 number, and they'll say, "Thank you for calling technical support," whatever, and they give the insinuation that it is Microsoft or Dell or someone like that, and before you know it, you've allowed them into your computer. They've put a password on there. Now they hold you kind of hostage. Captive, yeah.
Okay.
Or they're, selling you some quote-unquote support package, and $200, $300 later, you figure out that they've not really done anything to your computer.
Now, is that in the same category? I've heard the term scareware. Would that be a category of scareware?
Yes, it is. It's really just the pop-ups come up. That's called scareware, and basically what that is it's trying to get you to have a knee-jerk reaction to where, hey, you get a pop-up that says, hey, somebody's trying to, hack into your computer, click here to block them, or your computer, your data's being deleted, click here to stop that, or whatever. And the first thing you know, you're in trouble, because once you do that, you've mentally kind of already gone down their little rabbit trail, and it's hard to get back out of that hole. And they want you to call, and they're going to cause you to do something that is going to create problems on your computer. Anytime you see that, the best thing to do is to push away from the keyboard and don't do anything. Just sit back, go eat a sandwich or something, come back and take a look at it. 9 times out of 10, that stuff is fraudulent, it's fake, and if you get sucked into that, you can lose a lot of money.
Okay, I appreciate you sharing that. Now, I know that I personally have had a problem in the past where I had a hard drive crash and all the information that I had on there was lost forever. I found out that I could have gone and it was going to be thousands of dollars to recover like my kids' pictures from their birthday, and it wasn't worth thousands thousands of dollars for me in that situation. But do people call you a lot with problems with losing data on their hardware? And what are some ways they can protect against that?
Well, that happens quite a bit, more so than you would imagine. And most people are really rolling the dice with their data. And that is really the most important thing that they have on their computer.
Okay.
If you think about it, if you lose your pictures and if you've lost that stuff before, you know that sick feeling that you get in the pit of your stomach
Absolutely.
when that happens. And
Yes.
you're thinking, man, do I have a backup of this? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Okay.
And from a computer standpoint, there's so many different offerings out there that are available for free to people on the cloud, where you can have that data backed up redundantly and managed by professional computer people like the Googles of the world, the Yahoos, the different places like that doesn't cost you anything. Having thumb drives that you back things up, but having a plan in place is the most important thing. Just like in the financial world, if you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail.
That's right.
And
That's exactly
the same
right.
thing with computer infrastructure and things like that. So it's really interesting that you bring that up. And from a financial standpoint, it could be very devastating for a business user.
Yes.
In particular, if they don't have a plan. And I had one customer that they got this. It wasn't this WannaCry virus that was on there, but about 2 years ago, I had a customer call me and said, hey, we've got this message that's popped up on our computer saying that we have to buy these Bitcoins, that our computer's been encrypted and all of our data is locked up, and we've tried to open our files, and everything that we open up says the same thing.
So someone had hijacked their data.
Yes,
is that ransomware? I've heard of that term as well.
That's exactly what it was. This particular incident caused this man it did encrypt their drive. They did not have a backup solution, and the only thing we could do at that point was to wipe everything out, start from scratch, and they had to manually rebuild their whole accounting system. The last backup that they did do had been 6 months ago, so they had to go in and recreate payroll.
6 months worth of data and records and bookkeeping. Man, I cannot imagine the panic that would set in as a business owner on having to recreate that much data and information from my system. So there are ways to continually have that backed up.
Absolutely.
Hey, guys out there, if you have questions for Chris Sapp, if you don't feel like you're protected, feel free to call in to the Computer Doctor. Chris Sapp is a man of integrity. I can personally vouch for him. He is one of the sponsors of this show, but I chose him to be a sponsor of this show because I knew I could speak to his integrity and what he can do for you personally or commercially for your computer systems and your IT. We need people in this world we can trust, and I can tell you I trust the doc, Chris Sapp. So if you want to get a hold of him, call him at 837-4357. Of course, it's Sunday afternoon. He's not working today, but call him during the week at 837-4357. We'll be right back with some more from Chris Sapp on Money in Motion on News Talk 1077 and 1400 The Hub.
When we at Diamond Financial Group decided to open our new office, I knew I wanted to update my new computer, so I went to the professionals at the Computer Doctor in Sparta to discuss my needs. They took the time to find the perfect combination of professionalism and portability I wanted to effectively and efficiently do my job. In addition to great customer service, they also saved my business money by providing us with a state-of-the-art phone system that will surpass our business needs. Since then, the professionals there have always delivered every time I had a technological need. Call my friends at the Computer Doctor for your personal and commercial needs at 837-4357 or go see them at 180 Churchill Drive in Sparta. Again, their phone number is 837-4357.
Death and taxes, the only things that are certain, right? Everyone's in the market for a car at some point, though. That's what I found after living on this earth for so many years. Well, my frugal family found itself searching for a vehicle. With all my dad's advice from years and years of working on cars in the back of my mind, my husband and I strolled through car lots for over a month, searching for our perfect vehicle. Well, we found it right here in Cookeville. One rainy day, we walked into Nissan of Cookeville with a list of tough questions and a written down budget. Scott Davenport met us at the door, answered every single question, and addressed every concern we had. He made a potentially anxious situation as easy as I've ever experienced. So stop by and see my friend Scott Davenport at Nissan of Cookeville, or reach him at 528-7715. That's 528-7715. 888-866-7715. Nissan of Cookeville.
Welcome back to Money in Motion. I am Jason Murphy, your host from Diamond Financial Group. By the way, our office, there was a few delays, but it looks like we will absolutely be ready to receive clients and people to come by and see us. We don't have our furniture in yet. That's on order. But everything else is, as of today, will be 100% completely done. We are getting our offices set up. We are waiting for some waiting room chairs and our conference table and a few of those things. But I'm super excited. Right there beside Poets on Broad Street, that corner office, our granite is coming together and looking awesome. We got the windows clean, praise God, and it is all coming together, looking good. So for those of you that don't know, I'm going to let you in on a little secret on why I know some of the computer terms that I have mentioned back to Chris, and that is because I was a computer systems operator for the U.S. Air Force for my last 10 years out of the 20 that I served in the Air Force. And I know Chris is also prior service Air Force, and so Chris, I want to thank you for your service, sir. But what we were talking about earlier, you had talked about people calling in and pretending to be a service-oriented organization and maybe almost saying something like, yeah, this is a service for Microsoft, and they'll word it in a way that doesn't identify themselves directly as Microsoft or Hewlett-Packard or Apple, but they'll make it sound like they are directly correlated with that. Have you had any direct experiences with someone actually being fooled by that? I feel like my experience with 10 years in the Air Force makes me real skeptical if someone calls up and says, hey, something's wrong with your computer. We're from Microsoft support. I know better than to just say, oh, yeah, what's wrong with my computer? Well,
Right.
I would know, but I imagine there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't know.
Absolutely. We run into this without fail on a weekly basis, at least
Wow.
once or twice. It is rampant. It is terrible out there. I had one customer. I'm going to change the names to protect the innocent there, I guess.
Right.
But we had this one customer that came in. We'll call him
Call him Bob.
Bob. Bob is
yes.
a good name, Bob.
Yes.
So
Our
Bob
good
comes
friend Bob.
in. Our good friend Bob comes in. Says, hey, he says, technical support said I had problems with my computer, and immediately a red flag went up because I've done this guy's computer for years.
Oh, wow.
And I said, what do you mean tech support called you? And I said, Bob, tech support will never call you. Microsoft's not going to call you. Dell's not going to call you. The company would have to be the size of China to monitor everyone's computers while they're surfing the internet.
Wow.
And so we got his computer straightened out. We got everything done, but they had taken him. They had called him up and said that he'd got a pop-up on his computer or whatever. And he called the 800 number. And I think they milked him out of about $700. And I asked him, I said, did you pay for it on a credit card? How did you do this? Let's try to reverse this financial thing. Let's
Because
call
if
your
you had
bank.
paid with a credit card,
Right.
their fraud
Absolutely.
services would reimburse that.
Right.
But okay, so how did he pay?
He had paid. They actually had him pay with a Green Dot card. They actually had him go. It wasn't even right. They had him go to Walmart, buy a Green Dot card or a prepaid Visa card,
Right.
pay for that, and then give them the numbers. Well, as soon as they do that, they're able to pull that money right off
Oh, yeah.
instantaneously.
It's gone.
It is
immediately.
gone, and it's untraceable. So I've heard of people sending money through MoneyGram and Western Union. There was I know a lady in Spencer that had been bilked out of about $70,000. I know this lady personally, and I think she had maybe some dementia or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know, but they were able to take advantage of her. But even people, this Bob is a professional guy. I mean, he
Right.
is not mentally incapacitated at all. But he's unsure of himself on the computer, and
Right.
they knew how to push his buttons, and they do insinuate and leave you believing that they are Microsoft technical support or whatever else. And so I've had them actually call me on my shop number and pretend to be, and I play along with it just to find out
Wow.
I say, oh, really, and so I go through it with them, and invariably they try to get you to give them some kind of money, and they had taken Bob for $700. We got him cleaned up, sent him home. It wasn't a week later, and Bob's back in here again, and he come in and he said, I think they got me again. And sure enough, they had.
What?
They had taken him for another.
He fell for it twice?
Twice.
Oh, Lord.
Here's the story. Prepare for this. They get him back again, and the second call was supposedly they were the police or the authorities down in Jamaica or whatever. So they call up and they say, Bob, we have caught these scammers down here, and we are going to pursue charges. We're going to extradite them to the United States, but we have to have $500 for an airplane ticket to bring them up there so that they can face charges from the FBI.
Well, and I know the U.S. government is suffering on their budget, so maybe they did need some of Bob's money to fly back. I can see where that might be viable.
Yeah.
That's pure sarcasm, by the way. I don't know if the sarcasm is oozing over the airways to you right now. But Lord have mercy.
It was terrible.
If the U.S. government or any entity is asking you for money, listeners, just hear me for a second. If someone is asking you for money over the phone because it's going to benefit you, but you have to give them money to benefit you, don't do it.
This one lady, the lady that had the $70,000, they had told her she done won the Publishers Clearinghouse. She brought in a piece of paper, and I looked at it. It had, IRS stamps at the top of it, and it had, different things.
Totally legit.
It looked legit, but it had been emailed to her. And anyway, I called this guy. I talked to him, and he said, "Oh yeah, she's won a Cadillac down in Hohenwald, and it's up there, and we've just got to have $1,500." And I said, "Look, buddy," I said, "I don't know who you are." I said, in these parts. I said, let me give you my coordinates. I said, here's my address. I've got a big parking lot. I said, you have that driver pull that money out of his personal thing. If he brings up a Cadillac and a Mercedes, he can unload it right here in my driveway. I said, I will give you $3,000. I will double his money if he wants to do this, but we're not giving you any money up front. He started getting a little testy with me.
Imagine that.
Oh yeah. So I just
called him. What time did that Cadillac show up?
It didn't. It never did. It never did. I lost my religion on him. I told him, I said, buddy, we'll cut you up into doggy treats and feed you to the turtles if you do this. There's got to be a special place in hell for people that take advantage of old people like that.
I totally agree. And that's the thing. Listeners, they are taking advantage of the elderly, people that are not technically savvy. They are targeting the baby boomers, quite honestly, are being targeted like crazy, by the way, which is the largest demographic in America right now that actually has some money. Right. You guys you all have worked hard for your money and saved, and you've been smart. For the most part, you have been smart throughout your entire life in putting together a nest egg. And so you need someone that can help you manage that money. And so if you have questions.
Can I stop you for just a minute?
Sure.
I'm sorry, Jason. I've got to tell you listeners this right here. I have known Jason Murphy for well over 10 years now. And what Jason's saying is right. I run into professional people all the time. I run into baby boomers. And not only are these scams people are losing money on, but they're losing money with professional investors just like yourselves.
Yeah.
And they get locked into this or that, and they're not paying attention to their management fees. Their items are not being managed professionally. They don't have active management watching them all the time. And that's where I kind of want to give you a plug back is I know your integrity, and I know that you can be trusted. I've sent several people myself to you, and I've had people come back and say that Jason Murphy guy, he's really a good guy. And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't send you to him if I, didn't trust him and didn't know that he was a good guy. And so I just want to thank you for your service and for your integrity and your ability to take care of people. I know that if I sent my dad to you or whatever, that you will take care of them. Yeah. You're just that kind of guy, and you're that caliber, and we're cut from that same cloth, and I really appreciate that.
Well, brother, I appreciate you saying those kind words, and want to let the listening audience know I did not pay you to say
you
that.
Did not prompt me.
And so, Chris, I appreciate your words so much. Everybody listening, thank you for listening to Money in Motion. Thank you, Chris Sapp from the Computer Doctor, for being here. We'll be right back on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
Hi, this is Jason Murphy with Money in Motion. I want to tell you about a friend of mine, Tammy Smith with Master My Score right here in Cookeville. You see, she's a credit consultant and helps people get their credit score up so you can buy that next house or an automobile. I recommend my clients call Tammy Smith to fix their credit score. For more information, go to mastermyscore.com or call 996-7375. That's 996-7375.
Affordable, effective, reliable, and proven. Since 2001, Painter's Dream Productions has provided website design and audio-video production services. Since 2008, we've added social media marketing and search engine optimizations to our portfolio of services. Our job is to take you to the next level. We have an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau, and to see our work or for more information, visit us at paintersdream.com. Would you like a free consultation? Call 931-488-1002.
Welcome back to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy from Diamond Financial Group, right there beside Poets on the Square. And I want to remind you guys of my email address. If you have any questions for me or for Chris, I will forward them on to him with your information, and he can get back to you. If you have any questions for me about finance, about biblically responsible investing, which we're going to touch on the last part of this last segment, or if you have any questions about my book, Dirty Money, you can email me at moneyin.motion@cfdinvestments.com. That's moneyin.motion@cfdinvestments.com. So, Chris, we were talking about earlier, I heard you mention that there's a lot of companies out there, a lot of small businesses like mine that have lots of data, and sometimes that data is put at risk, and sometimes they have problems with viruses, sometimes they have other issues. Do you have any way of helping small businesses and organizations like that from your standpoint, from what you do?
Yes, absolutely. We have got several different packages. We can customize packages, but we've got remote support packages. We've got managed services where we can come in and basically be your team's technical support guy. We want to be your go-to guy for anything. That way, it's just like the whole having to call the right telephone number. We've had I had a customer last week that tried to call Hewlett-Packard. They Googled that, and the first 800 number was not the right 800 number.
Wow.
It went to one of these fake tech support places.
Gotcha,
So
which can get them into trouble that like exactly, Bob got into earlier.
Exactly. So we want to be go to somebody local. Go someplace where you have a relationship. Okay, I know Chris or Joe or whoever at the Computer Doctors, and say, I know these guys. If I do wrong by you, you can come out and protest in front of my business. You can,
right,
step on my neck, and you can, do things to me that can hurt me. And so a local guy, you can't reach to that telephone guy and take out your vengeance on him like you could somebody local. So whether you come
right
to us or go to somebody else, always have a relationship with a local person, just like you want to have a local financial guy that you can depend on and go to like yourself.
Right. So, and Chris, I'm just going to ask, I mean, the businesses out there would basically be putting you on retainer, so to speak. They would be paying a small service, a fee for service, that you would go in regularly and update their systems and update their antivirus programs, their malicious software programs. I know you can help individuals with all these services as well,
right,
but I know this is a big need for small businesses, and they have a lot more valuable data, quite honestly, that they need to protect. So you would be going in on a fairly regular basis, depending on what package they get from you, and you would be able to remote in and take care of them, or even send a technician on site if need be as a part of that package. That sounds valuable. That sounds expensive. How much just in general terms, how much would that cost someone?
Surprisingly, it's really it can be done for as little as the price of making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I'm not kidding about that.
Wow. So, really, I mean, we're looking at less than $1.
Less than $1 a day. Yeah. It's actually, I think it's probably less than $20 to $25 per PC, depending on the level of coverage and the response times and things like that you want. The frequency with which you would want us to come in and do preventative maintenance. But, like we said before, the ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and it really helps you level your cost out. And these programs actually can save you up to 86-87% off of what you would have to pay retail for the equivalent thing if you just walked in off the street and said, hey, I need this done, and utilized all the services that are there. So it is a cost savings to the business owner. We also have packages for residential too, where we can come in, once or twice a year, or once a quarter, or every month. And some of the packages have actually free labor vouchers that you can use throughout the year, however you want to. So we've got different solutions and different things that we can customize. It's just like going to Luby's for lunch or something and having a menu to pick from.
Gotcha. Pick and choose what you need,
absolutely.
And a la carte kind of services as well. So I have my new business.
Beautiful, by the way.
I'm excited
to see your furniture.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I can't wait either. So I need new business cards. Is that a service you guys provide? Do you do some graphics kind of stuff?
I can. That's really not my forte. I'm doing that. I can help you with that, and we'll do that for you.
But you're not looking at marketing or starting a printing business?
Not necessarily, no. It's something that I've created my own business cards. I've done that, and we can now. When it comes to printing stuff, if somebody wants to bring stuff, I've got a connection out of Florida that prints business cards super cheap. I guess I could do that. I've never thought about that, but if somebody needed.
But you could maybe save some people money if they want to talk to you about that. But your forte is computers. Now, what about graphic design kind of stuff? Do you do a little bit of that?
I don't personally do a whole lot of that, but again, I've got connections with people that are into that and can do some very, very nice commercial looking stuff on the cheap, and we can save you. Again, it's all about networking and knowing different people to do different things. If I don't have the connection, I can at least point you in the right way.
Right, and that's what it sounds like for my listening audience, that you would just be an amazing resource to use. I mean, if you can't do it yourself, you know someone of integrity that can do it, and that's awesome. So I want you guys to remember Chris the Doc Sapp down at 180 Churchill Drive in Sparta, Tennessee. His number again is 837-4357. You can email me if you want his information sent to you. Feel free to email me at moneyin-motion@CFD Investments. That's Charlie Frank Delta, CFD investments with an S.com. And so, Chris, I've told you a little bit about a book, and normally I save this whole last segment for my book, but do you remember me talking to you about Dirty Money?
Yeah, I mean, you sent me, I saw, I think, a Facebook post on the cover of it or something like that, and I was really kind of excited. We have talked a little bit about it, but tell me a little bit more about what the contents are. If the contents look anywhere as good as the cover, it's going to be a fantastic book.
Well, there's so many people out there that don't realize when they're investing in the open market, when they're investing in mutual funds specifically, they're investing sometimes without their knowledge, really, in industries, in categories that they would be appalled to find out that their money is supporting directly Planned Parenthood or pornography or alcohol, tobacco, some of these industries that they just really, as a Christian conservative individual, would not want their hard-earned dollars making money for them through those mutual funds. And so that's what that book is all about. And I'm excited. I believe if things go right, we're going to have a release date for that on July 1st. The 1st of July is what we're looking for. And I will be letting people know. Stay tuned every Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock right here on Money in Motion. And I'll be telling people more about my book.
July 1st. Huh?
That's right.
That's just right in time for Independence Day. And maybe that could mean financial independence for the people that read your book. That would be fantastic.
Man, that's awesome. So I'm going to shoot very hard for my listening audience and for all those that have told me they want a copy of that book. And we'll try to take care of everybody and get Dirty Money available to you on July 1st. So keep looking for more information. If you want to be on an email list about that release date and know exactly when you can purchase that book, and you know what, I may even give away the first run for the people that want a copy of the book that email me. I will give you a copy of that book, a digital copy. If you'll email me your email address, I will get your information and we'll put you on the list to receive a free copy of Dirty Money just for you emailing me at moneyin-motion@cfdinvestments.com. I have enjoyed talking with you, Chris. This has been amazing. And I just want to tell my listening audience one more time that they can come and see you at 180 Churchill Drive in Sparta, Tennessee. They can call you at 4357. They can email me at moneyinmotion@cfdinvestments.com for your information or any questions they might have about their computer safety, or if they want to get that subscription cost of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, they can get that subscription service so you can be watching out for them on a month in, month out basis. But it's truly been my pleasure to have you on, sir. I'll have you back for sure, Chris. This has been great. I want to thank everybody for listening to Money in Motion. I'm Jason Murphy with Diamond Financial Group, and you've been listening to News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
646-5519. Those numbers may not mean a whole lot to you right now, but you're going to want to write this number down. My name is Jennifer. My husband and I, we're frugal people. While we like to get a lot of value for our money, to say the least, we stretch every dollar. So last year, we decided that we wanted to refinance a mortgage on our house. We did our research, and that's when I met Barbara Steeving. Her official title is loan officer. She's not just thorough, not just thoughtful. She actually anticipated my family's needs throughout the whole process of the refinance. And trust me, folks, when I say they were tricky needs. She was just amazing. Can't say enough about it. By the time the process was over, I called her my friend. You can be friends with Barbara. All you need to do is go to Willow Avenue in Cookeville next to Jackson Plaza and go into First Volunteer Bank and tell my friend Barbara Steeving that you're there to save money, and she will do it for you. The number is 646-5519. So stop by First Volunteer Bank and see Barbara Steeving.
Member FDIC insured and equal housing lender.
This July, my wife and I will be celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary. I am so excited, and I want to do something special, to celebrate this amazing event. You see, it was about 10 and a half years ago that I proposed to my wife, and at the time, I couldn't afford to give her the ring that I wanted her to have. So this year, I'm going to surprise her with not only an anniversary band, but I wanted to do something special to replace and improve her engagement and wedding band. I looked around and asked many people who could do the best job for such an important event, for such a special person in my life. Let me take a minute of your time to tell you about a longtime friend of mine from high school, Matt Phillips. Matt Phillips is now the owner and master jeweler at the Jewelry Emporium. I have been working with Matt and the professionals at the Jewelry Emporium to create the perfect ring for this special occasion. When you're ready to pop the question, or you have that special moment in life that you want to celebrate with the perfect ring or jewelry, the professionals at the Jewelry Emporium will take the time and pay attention to every detail to make sure your moment is right. Call my friends at the Jewelry Emporium at 526-8366 to celebrate your next big event with that perfect symbol.